Third time's the charm, right? Hi everyone, welcome back to the Dragon Hoard Yarn Podcast. My name is Tristan. I am your host, coming to you from Spanish Fork, Utah, where I have my Dragon Hoard Yarn studio, where I work full-time dyeing yarn for my website, dragonhoardyarnco.com. Hi and welcome back, or welcome if this is your first time. I am happily knitting away today. I decided to take a break from dyeing because sometimes your hands just need a break from the constant squeezing of the yarn as you're dyeing it. So I decided to take today to record a new podcast, and I know it feels like I just came out with one, but that podcast took like 5 days to upload. I don't know. So crazy. But it is July 9th, which means my birthday is in 10 days. I'm going to be 30, and I cannot have a party. I just thought about that. But last night, actually, I got home at 12:30 a.m., and just after, a normal day of dyeing yarn, and honestly, I'm probably going to dye yarn today. I have a big old stack of yarn that I need to dye it for the Spellman sweater kits, which thanks to everyone. Thank you guys so much. We had a bunch of orders come through for our Spellman sweater pre-order, which I hope you guys are going to enter in for the FOMO CAL 2020, or FOMO 2020 CAL. One of those two. Dang it all. Knitting a sweater since Rhinebeck or the New York Sheep and Wool Festival got canceled this year. A lot of people who go there every year on the Saturday, we meet on the hill at noon, and we just meet up and chit-chat and hang out and show off our Rhinebeck sweaters. And so I was hoping I have like 8 in the process, but on the Saturday that Rhinebeck would be, which I believe is the 17th or 18th of October, and instead, let's just flood Instagram. Let's do our Rhinebeck sweater FOMO CAL 2020. I think that's what it is. And just flood it and do like a fashion show all day, just showing off all of the knitting that we would have been wearing at Rhinebeck this year. Or if you've never been to Rhinebeck or weren't going to be able to go this year, what a better way to participate. I'm really excited, and it seems like a lot of you guys are too. So thank you so much for that. I'm excited to see what you guys all decide to knit. Whips are allowed, obviously. I was going to say, if you use my yarn, you'll get entered in twice for giveaways. We've had a bunch of people reach out. We're going to have a bunch of giveaways, including gift certificates to my shop, some of my yarn. We have some bag makers. We have some pattern designers. We have stitch marker makers. So we have a bunch of people wanting to donate as well, because we're going to be doing some prize drawings for people who participate. So I'm really, really excited. And that will be, right now I will just be drawing from the Instagram hashtag, as well as, I'm going to be drawing from a couple areas, because I think we're going to have quite a few prizes. So I will be drawing from Ravelry. I'll be creating a thread for that for you guys to chatter on. But I know that Ravelry has been having some accessibility issues. And so for right now, we are going to just comment below what you're planning on knitting. I will be going back over all of these. And also just using the hashtag FOMO CAL 2020 on Instagram. And I will also be looking at all of that and entering people in. And we'll find a way to do some finished object stuff too. But we'll figure it out so that not everything has to be on Ravelry unless they decide to alter or change some things to make it more accessible for everyone. But I'm so excited. And actually, I'm knitting on a couple things. I have so many things to show you guys, actually. I'm knitting on a couple things right now for that I'm really excited about. But I first wanted to show off my summer court tank, which is in testing right now, and it's going to come out on August 10th. So this is my first version in the colorway The Dodo, and I used beads in this one that are just this very, very pale pink, and I love how it turned out. I'm loving the ease through the body. And we decided to make it, sorry, my bra likes to pull my hair. It's so sweet. The edging on the front is a type of I-cord edging, so it gives it nice structure throughout. And I made the straps a little bit wider on the finished pattern, and the larger the size, the wider the straps, because I know back a couple years ago where I was about 60 pounds heavier, you really wanted some of that on top just to help the ladies down here. And so the straps do get larger and wider, and there are ways that you can alter that if you want wider straps as well for some of the other sizes. And we decided to make it available in kid sizes as well, because how fun will that be? Like a mommy and me kind of pattern, I don't know, or an auntie and me, or whatever and me. I think it'll be super cute. And some of my testers actually have opted to do the kid sizes, and some of them are already finished. So I'm just like, I'm so excited. But it's actually a really fast pattern, because once you get past the lace portion, which will be charted, once you get past the lace portion, it's just like stockinette for 5 inches or however long, and then you separate for the front and the back. So it's really, really easy in that sense, as it being a quick knit. I would still say it's probably an intermediate pattern, just because of the lace section and the skills required to do the beading, which this was actually my first beading project, and I was smitten. I was absolutely smitten. Actually, while we're talking about, I'll show you just how smitten I've been. I'm going to put this thing down that you guys are going to see in a few minutes. Let's see. So, using my Throne of Glass my Throne of Glass bag, inspired by the book. No. My Crescent City inspired bag from the Crescent City book series by Sarah J. Maas. This is by not Lindsay. This is by Angelica of Lila Styles. She's Lila Styles. Yes, I know all these things. She's Lila Styles on Instagram, and she has fantastic products. This is like a nice canvas on the outside and just some really cute print on the inside. I love her bags. But so the second one I'm working on, I'm on the right front, I think, right now. Yes, I just finished the left front. And so this is in my colorway Nyx, which is the Greek goddess of darkness and night. And wow, that's coming across as stripy on there. It doesn't look stripy in real life. It's just those blue spots. That's kind of fun. So this one's a little bit more oversized than the one I'm wearing right now, because I used a different yarn. I used my Myth fingering weight, which is a slightly thinner gauge, but I use them interchangeably all the time. My Lore base compared with my Myth base, which I'm really excited. And I made some alterations as well, deviating from the original pattern. And so the structure of it, oh my God, I'm going to love it. I haven't seen it held up against me yet. Okay, let's see. Oh my God. Oh my God, my bra is pulling my hair again. Okay. Oh my God, look at that. So this will rise just as high. It needs to be blocked, obviously. But one thing I'm really excited about is I'm doing, maybe I could do kits for this one. But I'm doing kits for this one, as well as one other color, and the other color is actually in collaboration with the beautiful sister yarn bag makers, knitting bag makers. I know what I'm talking about. But I got some work done on this the other day, and now I'm almost done. Oh my God. But I'm going to be doing kits with these, and the next one I'll show you is going to come with the bag. This one will not, but they will come with the beads. I know. But this is a very old version of the Nyx colorway, and I really wanted to play with the dark colors in it and make them a little bit more poppy and a little less kind of having a lighter undertone. Nyx was one of last year's Tartarus colorways that I did, and it was when I really started feeling like I knew what I was doing when it came to dyeing yarn. And there are still things that I wanted to change when I dyed it up again. And so this version is going to be a little bit darker. I started selling it last week. I'm going to dye more of it up here pretty soon. But I have some other pre-orders I have to get ready for as well, because there's actually a pattern coming out sooner than the summer court tank. But I am absolutely just in love with those. It's so dark, and it's kind of hard to tell, but it's actually a dark blue and purple and black base, and the speckling has pinks and blues and orange in it. But because the base is so saturated, it actually absorbs the speckling on top a lot differently, and it created like some greens and some other purple and blue tones, and I'm so in love with it. But this is already sold, so I have to put that back. But it deviates a little bit with how dark it is in this. But I decided I wanted to do a couple different ones because it's a really comfy thing to wear, but also I could do some killer photo sessions with these. So I'm really excited about that, and I'm almost finished with it. So I should be able to steam block it tonight, probably, because I'm just doing the straps, and then I have to pick up straps for the back and then join them at the top so that there's some structure. This one, however, does not have that. I'm cheating and holding it together with my bra in the back because I did have to do a couple alterations with it, and the straps on this one just didn't work out as much. And on this one, the structure of the straps is a little thicker. If you can tell, it's going to be a little bit thicker, which I do like. But hey, trial and error, right? Best part of it. So next, this will be a kit available with these really fun beads. I love how these beads are because it actually pulls the speckles really well in this, and so it comes across as like pink and orange and purple and blues, and it just fit perfectly. So that's the one I'm almost done with. But I cast this one on because I was really impatient and had to wait for Gnome Craft to finish drying up. And this is Gnome Craft. I have a bunch of it dyed up now. Isn't that a perfect summer color? I mean, it's like cool and breezy and fun. So I dyed a bunch of this up last week, and then over the weekend I was able to cast on. So I just like grabbed it off on Friday. I'm just like, mine. So I think there are still a couple of these available in the shop, but wait till you see how it like actually knits up. And this is my Birch Grove bag that I got a while ago. I love her bags. I wish they had a strap on them, I'm not going to lie, because I have to tie these together and create a strap. But other than that, I love it because it's a very linen base with a little bit of a canvas on the inside. And it has good structure, but it's also a little floppy, which I really like. Oh, I have a lot in here. What am I doing? So here's Gnome Craft in the, here's my Fleegle needle, which I didn't really realize how tiny these things are. Oh my god. But this is what I'm using to put the beads on. And I plan on doing a kind of tutorial for how I do it here pretty soon before I release the pattern, which again, August 10th. But here it is all caked up in Gnome Craft. And here it is in the pattern. And it's really bunched up because I like actually having my stuff on really tiny needles. And I'm a mess. Okay. I know! I'm so happy! Look at that color! Oh my gosh, but I have a bunch of beads ready to go with this. Oh, and I love it. The beads actually pull blues and greens, and so it works really brilliantly with the yarn. And I believe, 1, 2, 3, I'm on my last lace little repeat, and then I'll be in stockinette heaven for a bit. But I'm so in love with these colors. So this is the colorway that's going to come in the kit. And hopefully next week I'm going to show you the bag for it because it's pretty perfect. Originally I was going to do a whole different thing with that collaboration. And so the bag was just sitting there one day and I looked at it, I'm like, oh, I want a colorway like that. And so I dyed up Gnome Craft. And then later we switched the collaboration to this and I'm like, I have the perfect color. So it really worked out, and I love Heather and Hill, that are the makers behind Beautiful Sister Bags, and check them out on Instagram. I'll put them below as well. I have so many of actually this is one of their bags right here. It's a walk and knit bag, and so you can just be like, and I needed one of these because I've seen people walking and knitting a ton. I'm just like, but I have such big bags because I'm always doing sweaters, but this bag is really good if you're starting a sweater, as long as it's not like color work and needs like 8 different colors like we originally planned for the collaboration, which wouldn't have worked with this bag. So I'm glad we found a solution, and I kind of am thinking this bag is, oh my god, I didn't realize this until now. This probably is the thing that inspired my Harpy Havoc colorway. I really think it is. This is another color I really want to knit this top in. But it's really great because all the sizes only go up to about 3 skeins, maybe into 4, depending on the yardage, because I estimated it based off of my lure base, which is 436 yards per 100 grams. And all the sizes only need up to 3 skeins of yarn. So it's a good stash buster. And especially if you have like little girls in your life or anything, 1 skein of yarn. I think the smallest size takes like enough for a sock. So it's kind of exciting. I'm really happy with this top, even though this one's a little ski-wampus and stuff. I'm loving what I'm seeing online. My mom's actually knitting it too, and I'm excited to see a lot of the solid and tonal colorways that a lot of people are using, because I think it's just going to make the beads pop that much more. And if you need pairing ideas, let me know. I really think I want to do one in, always down here, in the Dorcas colorway, but with beads that are like this color for autumn. Oh, that would be so pretty, and wear it with like a really drapey, maybe like black shawl over top, and just be moody and just badass. I guess. I guess it's the gothic tones in me that are just like, the Dorcas. Gold beads. Oh my god. Okay. I need to put these back. Ooh. God damn it. Oh my gosh. MacBook. Don't do that to me. I need to figure out how to turn the sleep mode off on that thing. It's being super fun. But that is the one I am just so happy with right now, and it's bringing me so much joy, and I just want to knit a bunch of things up in it. I had a few people reach out to me and ask me if it was beginner friendly. I would say no, but it also depends on how stubborn you are. So if you're like me and you're like, I can do that, I'll look on YouTube, I'll see how to do this thing. It's like, yeah, you could probably do it, honestly. But if that's not your thing, if you, not that it's a bad thing, but if you overthink things a ton, or if you are maybe worried about it at all, maybe it's not the best starter project, but even if you just cast on the stitch amount and knit a tank, that part's easy. The only thing I worry about is because the lace is done in chart and because you're using beads. However, this was the first time I've ever used beads. I got the concept. But usually when I'm starting something new, I try to add something I've never done before in it. And that's how I've done like cables or done a bottom-up sweater. I'm like, I understand that. I could probably figure that out. Or beading and stuff, and be like, I'll go on YouTube. I'll figure it out. It'll be fine, she said, casually, looking at all the unfinished designs over in the corner. But it's not a difficult new technique to use at all. But it can, again, our braids can get in the way of us progressing and doing new things. So if you are an adventurous beginner or stubborn as hell like me, I'd say go for it. Message me if you have questions. I'm going to be recording a few different videos, like how to use the Flegel needle for my pattern, even if I'm doing it wrong. I have a bunch of people who used a 1mm crochet hook, and I'm also going to order that so I can show different ways to do it in that video just do a little tutorial, and it'll be on here as well on my channel, just free for anyone, but it'll also be linked in the pattern in case you want to click there. I don't know, but it'll be available. Any new techniques I try to kind of or any new weird stitches, like there is one stitch in here that I really had to figure out. It's the liftover knot, which is this circle right here, which I've never seen before. And these were lace charts. One of my resources that, or one of many resources that I have is a Japanese stitch dictionary. And I love stitch dictionaries. God, I hate that word though. I love those because it kind of shows you a different way of like how things could look. And I know some designers just take that chart and they're like, done, which is great because that's what they're there for. But other designers I've seen, like me for this one, was my first time. I'm just like, okay, I want to pick from here, 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 play with it a little bit. Oh, I could put beads in here. What? Okay, let's put beads in here. And so I put beads in there. But it's a really great resource if you are interested in designing or even just tweaking a design that's already been made to make it more of what you want. I would highly recommend a bunch of stitch dictionaries, which you can find on, I think Blueprint is closing, but I think they're also opening back up Craftsy for a couple different things. But I just got mine on Amazon. I got mine on Blueprint. I got mine from a local yarn shop. So check there first, because I've seen just on Instagram that within the last 3 weeks or so, there's been at least 2, I think 3 local yarn shops that are closing that I'm like, because one I've never been to, and one of them is fairly local to me, and the other one I've been to, and I'm like, aw, like it kind of breaks my heart. And so if you're able to, if you're financially able to, maybe check your local yarn shop if that's something you're interested in, and see if they have any stitch dictionaries for you to browse or purchase. But that's all about my summer court. Oh, I should probably say it's bottom up. Construction is bottom up, and then until you get right here, and then you will do an I-cord bind off around the back, and then you'll knit the front panels separate, and then continue I-cord, and then pick up I-cord at the top and seam them together at the top, so you just have a little bit of structure, which is something that I didn't think about for this one. So I just knit all the way back and then connected them, which can be tempting to do, but this keeps falling down because I did that. And so since I added some structure at the top in the pattern, I'm hoping that's what fixes, there's people outside my studio, but I'm hoping that fixes the front flashing effect that I have going on. I'm nosy. But I would highly suggest looking at seam things like that. I'd never done a mattress stitch before. Before this one, I test knit the Gloam cardigan for Caitlin Hunter and never finished it because I suck at test knitting. And I'm going to show you guys that next week, actually, because it's in one of my favorite colorways. And hopefully that'll tempt me to finish it. But that was the first ever pattern that I've ever mattress stitched or seamed anything together. And it creates such a good structure to the fabric, to the garment. So I was very, very surprised. And I just keep wanting to seam everything now. So something to think about. Don't let seaming scare you either. I wanted to show you guys because this comes out in August, but I wanted it to come out in July, but I didn't get off my ass and finish it. So I have another sweater that I'm going to be releasing on my birthday on July 19th as a little happy 30th birthday for me, even though we're not counting it because of 2020 didn't happen. But it's the one that I was working on just now. So this is my autumn court sweater. I can't believe I'm actually sticking with all of these. So we have the spring court sweater, we will have the summer court tank, and then we have the autumn court sweater, which is so pretty. Oh, this is the one I'm so happy about. This yoke actually is the first, because I knit this and designed most of this before I came out with the spring court sweater, and these are the first ones that I feel like I understand how to knit yokes, finally. I love it. It is one of the best fitting up here sweaters that I've ever had, like this and the spring court sweater. And I never realized just how much I love yoke sweaters. It just fits your shoulders really well, which is, it sounds like a weird thing, but raglan can be a little interesting. I'm not gonna lie. It really can. And the way that some people design with shoulder shaping or neck shaping or just the short rows, whatever you want to call them, some people do it very weird. I'm not gonna lie. Some people do it where it's just the short rows, like from here to here in the back. I don't like that. And I finally figured out that when I'm doing short rows, no, I need to go like all the way around and slowly go back, because you're doing the short rows for your shoulders. You're not doing it for your neck. Your neck's not that big. So I'm very happy because this fits so nice, and all my testers are actually almost finished with it. This was a secret test knit, and I just want to show you the bottom detail and sleeve detail. So this is the bottom of the sweater. It is like it's seriously like the daintiest thing I've ever designed. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, that's super pretty. But so it's a 4-color color work, and it's along the bottom and along the bottom of the sleeve. So I took this chart, and because this is across, I think, like 14 stitches or 16, this one is I don't remember, but it's a lot less, but it's a mirror of that chart, just in like smaller version. You guys, I cannot, I'm so excited. So it's a top-down yoke in the round, and then you take the sleeves off, and then you knit the body. And this is a little bit shorter fitting of a sweater than I would do for a long fitting sweater. So it's not cropped, but I mean, here's my hip bone up here, and it goes right here. Usually when I knit sweaters, for me, I like them to go to like right way down here. But so this one's a little bit shorter, but it's absolutely not a cropped sweater. He's so excited. And they're long sleeves, and I originally thought this was considered a bell sleeve, but it's not. Go away, all you ends. Pretend you're not here. So it actually just creates a little bit of a poof at the bottom, but not a ton, because you do a lot of drastic shaping up here, just so that you can create a little bit of ease down here. And so you do most of the decreases are going to be right here until about the elbow, and then you just knit straight. And so depending on what you want, I believe these are in stitches of 10. So if you're kind of within there, you can finagle it, but I'm very excited. And I started designing this on a plane when I was coming back from Stitches West, I believe. And so I've been sitting on it for a while. And yes, that is Surrey alpaca in there. I have loved knitting color work with Surrey alpaca so much recently, if you can't tell from the spring court sweater and then the autumn court sweater, which is why I have my pumpkin in the background. Product placement, but not really. Because the Surrey just really grips itself. And so my gauge did not change on the Surrey at all. I do know, and I feel so bad for her, one of my test knitters, she did it with mohair, and I think that really didn't do her any favors. And she finished the whole body in one sleeve, I think, or she may have finished the entire thing, but she had to rip it all back out, because mohair is not very nice when it comes to that. It's really good to hold with something, but because it's such a slippery fiber, it's not going to grip as well. And so either you will knit it way too loose, which is what she did, and this could be like not even the reason that it didn't work for her. Who knows? But I'm just assuming. But so you overcompensate, and so you knit it a lot looser. And with the Surrey, because of how the fibers are, they're going every which way, and so they grip onto each other and like chain lock together a lot better. And so here are the colors that I used. The main body is my Selena colorway, which I'm actually getting these ready. I'm going to be kitting them up. I think I actually might start doing pre-orders for them this weekend because I'm so excited. And I panic ordered a lot of yarn, so we are supplied. We are ready. So Selena is kind of the main color in my Throne of Glass collection because she is the main character-ish. And it's a really good series by Sarah J. Maas. And it's what I love about it is it's 7 books long. And I need something that can like keep my attention for that long. I'm listening to Percy Jackson again, which I finished the first series, which was 5 books, and the second series, which was 5 books. And then I'm on the 3rd series of it, which is about Apollo. And I think it's going to be 5 books long, but I'm on the 4th one right now. And the 5th one comes out in October. So just to give an example, I need books that take a very, very long time to finish because I will just listen to them while I'm working all day and all night. So that one's a really, really good one. It is a young adult/adult book because there are sex scenes in it. So don't listen to it around your kids. I've heard some people did that, and that was kind of funny but sad. So I really love this color because it's a very unconventional, like, mauvey berry undertone, but it has pops of autumn in it, I would like to say. So we have some burnt oranges in there, some browns, some kind of mustardy yellows in there, and it just came out really, really pretty in the fabric. And I always alternate skeins, and so this one, I think the body, I'm on the very last bit. I believe it took me 2 skeins for the body because, it's a little bit shorter, and I'm knitting the second to smallest size. But I really love how that color comes out in the fabric. And then for the contrasting, we have the Surreal in my Surrey. And the Surreal is a colorway that is from my Court of Thorns and Roses collection, which is still, to this day, one of my absolute favorite colorways because it has like a sagey undertone and then just crazy amounts of speckles. But I really love how it came out in the Surrey. And so before any trip, I usually just grab a bunch of yarn, cake it up, or don't cake it up, but I put it in my suitcase. And so if you're ever at a convention, I probably have some yarn on hand if you ever want it. Just let me know and be like, hey, I need to make an emergency purchase. But so I have this on hand. I'm like, I really have not in the past. I'm doing better. Credit where credit's due. But I haven't in the past been the best at picking color work for patterns. The colors, I mean. And so I wanted something that would stand out. So I grabbed the Surrey from the Surreal color. And then I grabbed Word Marks, which is a this year color for me. And I love it. I'm such a sucker for this mustard. And I've heard from some yarn dyers, they're like, yeah, oranges and yellows don't do well in my shop. And I'm like, oh, but when you find your true soul color that's an orange or a yellow, it doesn't matter if you sell it because you want to knit it. So I am so smitten with this colorway. And I'll show you something that I'm actually knitting up in it for one of Caitlin's test knits next week. It's Gloam. We already talked about it, but it's Gloam. And it's a beautiful cardigan. I'm not very good at test knitting. So there's that. And this is Boudoir, which some people have seen as like, oh, and I love it. These two colors together so much, by the way. They're sitting together on my shelf over there. I'm just like, you're going to be something someday. You're going to be a colorwork something. But this is Boudoir, and it's just a really, really good peachy tonal. Some people are like, oh, it's pink. It's very, very peachy. But it comes across as pink in this a little bit more because of the colors around it. And so it actually tricks your eyes into thinking it's a totally different color, which is so brilliant. And color theory is so fun to play with. And so it's the same if like you want to tone down a color, like you want to tone down a bright color or even a deep color. But you're wondering what this is. It's a brand new color. But you can tone it down or you can make it more a little bit more bold and brilliant, or you can make it a little bit more soft and gentle, but still like contrasty. And I love it. And this is actually making it look a little bit more pinkish too. But then you pair it against something else. I don't know. I love color here, and I love playing with it. But so because it's against Selena, which is down there, I'm not gonna get it. It comes across a little bit more pink, which is pretty fun. But I will be kitting those up and taking photos today, and hopefully they'll be in the shop tomorrow or Saturday. We'll have to see, because I also have a bunch of new colors I'm gonna show you in a minute. I had a couple people really wanting to see a sneak peek of the Night Court sweater. So, okay. This is another, oh god, this is another really fun bag. I got this at Stitches Salt Lake last year from the Willow Hill Yarn Company, which is one of my local yarn shops. Love you, ladies. And they had these in their booth. And who is it? I need to get more. Lemonade Sewing Company. I love this bag. It is so big and so nice. And these are backwards, so that's going to be hard to open. But it's floppy at the top, but it has such a big butt on it. And that's what I really like. I mean, look at that ass. But it opens up a ton at the bottom, which I really need. And then it has pockets around the entire interior. And it was a bit of an investment, but it was very worth it. I constantly have a project in this bag because I'm constantly making sweaters. And a lot of times it's a lot of extra skeins of yarn. So, okay. Oh my god, that looks so good on there. Oh my god. This is a colorway I've not released yet. And that's, oh my god. Sorry, this is my new DK Sparkle, and I have not seen it on the camera. Look how pretty that, oh, I'm mesmerized. Okay, I'm really excited to see how the sweater is going to look on here now. So this is Illyrian Wings from my Court of Thorns and Roses collection. So it's not out yet. I can't stop doing that. It's a DK Sparkle, by the way. This is my Sprite DK, and I have it available on a couple colorways in the shop right now. One is Rebel Barbie, so a bright, vivid pink, kind of matching that a little bit, and also Entrails color. Oh my god, I will just sit here and do that all day if I don't stop. Okay, that's pretty. Okay. Oh, come on, MacBook, don't do that to me. Don't you do me wrong. So, this is the Night Court sweater, and it's a little sneak peek. I'm not going to show this on my Instagram for a while, but I have to show you guys this pretty cable. Oh my god, I can never get good lighting for this. Okay, today is a good day, you guys. Look at that cable. So it's a top down in the round, but it's going to be, it has a good short row section in the back, but it's going to be oversized in the body and then tight in the arms. But the arms, if you can see, they're going to start a little bit further down here, and I'm hoping to shape the bottom like this. So it's going to be a little bit tunicky, but it's going to be oversized, but so flattering. Because one thing that I really wanted to design for is, fix that a little bit, is larger or more voluptuous bodies. And it can be really hard shopping-wise, just knowing from a few years ago, trying to get something that you really feel good in and comfortable in and freaking sexy in and just, like, comfortable in your own skin. And so my boot weather sweater is one that is more of a tunic too, and it has the tighter fitting sleeves that start down here, and more of those horizontal when you wear, or vertical when you wear them, like chevron-y lines. And I kind of wanted to do something with that, with this, having it a little bit more oversized fit in the body, but not so it's tent-like, and then having it tighter after here, because I know women tend to have a problem area right here because we don't gain muscles as quickly as men in our upper bodies. And so we get the cute little, in Utah they're called Relief Society arms, which is really sad. But it's because in the Mormon church, when you get to a certain age, you join Relief Society, and it's really horrible. But for me, it's just like a little bit of a snicker, because it's like, I'm getting them. But women tend to have their upper arms be a problem area. And so I'm like, okay. So let's take the eye away from that a little bit, and let's focus on having the upper body just kind of be uniform across the top and having the sleeves tighter. Because what that does is it actually creates that more vertical lineage on the body, because with your arms, it creates those really, really tight-fitting lines. And I'm really excited about this sweater because I think it's going to look so good on so many bodies. And the length's going to be a bit longer, and I'm probably going to give some options on the shaping on the bottom, just because some people like the square box shape, but that's another thing. The square box shape draws a lot of attention to the butt in a very non-flattering way sometimes, depending on if it's a high-low, if the rest of the sweater, like how it combats that a little bit. On the boot weather sweater, because it's such a drop shoulder, the bottom is knit straight, but it tilts like that instead, so it creates more of those vertical lines as well. And that's a sweater we'll be showing off next week too, because I really like it. It's comfy. But I'm really excited about these tight-fitting cables. And I wanted to wait as long as I am waiting. And that's my hair. More fiber. To release this yarn, because I wanted to release it with this sweater. But now I kind of just want to release the yarn. So I have separated for the sleeves, and I'm knitting the body. And one other thing that I really wanted to do for the body is I don't want it to be a boring knit. Because I know with me, sometimes the reason I crop my sweaters so often is because I get so bored of stockinette. Even the 5 inches in this, I'm just like, oh my God, am I there yet? God. And so where this one's probably going to be body lengthwise at least about 14 inches, if not 17. Because I love that length for longer oversized sweaters. But I didn't want it just to be boring. So what I did, and I don't know, this is one thing that I'm having a really hard time photographing. There we go. We have some body texture in there, which also breaks up the knit from being boring, but also creates a good texture on the body that complements, it breaks it, okay, how do I explain this? It breaks it up so it doesn't just look like a big blob, if that makes any sense. Because if you just knit an oversized, if you have an oversized sweater with nothing on it to break it up, it'll just be a blob. I hope that makes sense. So with having a little bit of texture in there, it's going to be super flattering. I'm very, very excited. And it looks so good on the... Okay. There's my night court sweater, you guys. And so this is why it's taking so long, because I really, really wanted everyone to feel freaking fantastic in this thing and just sexy as all hell. And so it's taking a little bit longer because I want to make sure that the shapes I create for it are going to be flattering across the board. So thank you for being super patient with me. As soon as I get my autumn court out, summer court is already in testing. And next I'm working on my Fire Sprite sweater. And this one I want to come out probably in late September, if not October. This is one of my Rhinebeck sweaters. But I think it would be beautiful to have on winter solstice, just with if you like the sparkle. But I'm going to be offering kits for it later, sparkle and non-sparkle, don't you worry. So let's just look at it again. Oh my God. Okay. So that's the night court, and I'm taking my time because it's my favorite court in A Court of Thorns and Roses, and y'all know I'm obsessed. I have to say, I'm getting more messages every day of people saying, I just started A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I'm just sitting in my chair. I literally read the message and I'm like, because I'm so excited for people to get a little obsessed like I am. There's no shame in that. Otherwise, I would be a walking bulletin of shame. I don't know. I can't make analogies. Okay, do you guys want to see some of my new colors? So, a beautiful, beautiful, and thank you, viewer last week commented below on a podcast that I should be listening to on iTunes. And usually I'm like, oh yeah, okay, maybe. That'd be fun, okay. I started it, and it's called the Fairy Podcast, and I love it, and thank you so much. I was terrified last night because they started talking about shadows and how people have like shadow people and stuff, and like all of those theories could also be fairies trying to steal your shadow, aka your freaking soul. And so I was freaking out a little bit last night because I was at my studio again until about midnight, just dyeing yarn. And I have been really enjoying that podcast. They only have like 9 episodes, I think, seven episodes. And I'm on the 6th one right now, but I got so inspired, and I just wanted to make some fairy colors. So this will be going in with the mythological collection, but it'll be its own, like, it's all about fairies. So, okay, I want to show you guys. So the one I kind of teased you with, this is the Unseelie Court. I have not dyed a lot of, like, reddish for a while. Like, I'll do pinks and burgundies and stuff, but this has some really good red tones in it. And so the Unseelie Court is the dark Seelie Court. The Seelie Court is like the fairy court underneath the mountain, or the fairy realm, or whatnot. So the Seelie Court is the one that, like, kills humans. So here is that one. And these will all be available this weekend. They're all drying right now. So, Unseelie Court. And that goes down there. And this one is Changeling. This just feels like Valentine's Day in a skein as well. But I love this one so much. I think it's super pretty. So this is Changeling, and Changeling is generally when a fairy has a baby that is not healthy, and so they go and they steal a couple's baby that's healthy and replace it with the Changeling, and the parents can't really tell. They just know one day their child is, like, sick for some reason, and so they raise the Changeling instead. And I think either they eat the baby or they raise the baby. I'm not sure. So, or the fairies, not the humans. That would be called cannibalism. Oh, I really love that color. And I think these two would go really well together. Oh. And then I've been holding things up together, just playing with them. Look at it with Dorcas. I would definitely knit a comfort pink cardi in those 3. Just saying. So there's those. Okay, this one is called Fairy Glamour, because in fairy folklore, fairies are able to glamour something or themselves, and so they're able to make it so you can't really see what is the whimsy and what is reality. And so this has tints of purple in it underneath, little tones of it throughout, but it's blues and some browns and some greens in there, and I mean very light hints of that kind of green spattered speckling. It's like every time you look at a different section, it's another new cool tone to it. So this one is Fairy Glamour. And I think I'm going to rechristen this one. This is called Goblin Market. And goblins are actually still in the fairy category, like gnomes, goblins, brownies, and all that. They're considered fairy. And then there's fairy. I'm learning things. But I think I'm going to rechristen this one Fairy Market. Or, no I'm not. Okay, I'm going to name this one Fairy Hill. Because there's a lot of actually really creepy folklore with fairy hills, and you're not supposed to go on them. And I also have Fairy Ring, which I will be bringing back. It's one of my oldest colorways I've ever dyed, and I still love it to this day. So I will be bringing that back, but a lot of these will be in a mini set together, all the new ones. This one might be my favorite one. So this one is Seelie Court. It is seriously my favorite one. So these are the good fairies that you will, you can, if you hear people dancing in the middle of the woods one night, on top of a hill usually, that's the Seelie Court. They're fairies. They like to dance around, but you never drink their food, or you never drink their wine or eat their food. I absolutely love this. This is very reminiscent, if you guys have seen before, of my Tree Sprite color. I think it's such a perfect color for summer, honestly. And I think it would be really cute in one of these tops, too. I just love the complete variation throughout it, and then just the mass speckling. And then this one might be my favorite just in name, as well as color. I love the color, but I have a weird fascination with the Wild Hunt, which is a whole different aspect of fairydom. But this one is the Wild Hunt, and it has a lot more of those brown speckling and green speckling in it, which I was afraid it would look a little too Christmassy. But then, looking at it in the skein, it just looks perfect. I'm so happy with this. Look at that, some of those blue and green specklings. I'm so excited about that. But those are all my new colors, and I'm going to have the new 5 of them in mini sets available, so I'll be taking pictures here pretty soon. And I think I got everything. I told you guys I've been working on a lot. Yeah, it's been crazy, but I'm excited to get those new colors in the shop for you all and get the autumn court sweater kits ready to go, because I want to have those out within about a week. Spellman sweater kits are almost ready to go today. I'll be doing a lot of shipping on those, so thank you guys for all your orders. I'm so excited for you to get those kits. I hope you guys join us in the FOMO CAL 2020 hashtag. I'm really excited about that, actually, and just everyone's interest in it. And I think that's it, actually. I have a lot of yarn dyeing to do. I think I'm actually going to dye yarn today and get at least Prudence done for the Spellman sweaters, which is this color. I have some of this skeined up, and I will be joining you guys in making a Spellman sweater as well in the Prudence color. And they are canceling Sabrina, and I'm a little bit upset with Netflix right now. I'm a little disappointed in them because we already lost so much this year. Why are you taking away Sabrina too? I don't know. I'm a little upset. But I'm going to head out. I hope you guys have a magical weekend, and hopefully this doesn't take 5 days to upload again. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!